99% of the cricketers are like that.
I'm with
but
you.
they will be looked at a jaundiced eye for a simple blemish because people will say everybody.
I'm going to try once more, and then I'm going to try, Mr. Gul. I'm going to ask you one more question. Then I'm going to Bishan Bedi. My question to you tonight is that, Mr. Gul, we want to go back into history and say, if when Sarfaraz Nawaz in 1998 in a recorded statement the 8th of September said, I am repeatedly writing to the PCB, I am writing to the President of Pakistan, I am writing to the Prime Minister of Pakistan and all concerned, and nobody has called me, nobody has examined me. Had this state of denial gone away in 1998 when Sarfaraz Nawaz made that statement, maybe this would have never happened, sir. Someone's got to accept. Mr. Gul.
Can I?
Yes, Mr. Gul, you're all yours.
Can I now respond? You see?
Please, sir.
You see, when I came here, I thought this was a short interview or a short meeting of the mind, so to speak, and I never thought it would become so adversarial. I will be quite happy to one day sit down with you, see, and then talk to you about this. You see, look at the canvas which you've extended now and expanded in this so-called debate. I mean, you brought in Pakistan, you brought in 1989, 1998. All I'm saying is, I thought that this was about today's conviction. I said was, and I stand by it. I said, today's conviction. I said that, look, I do not think I am just a lawyer, an ordinary lawyer. I do not have tall claims to make, and neither have I ever made them. But all I am saying is that I have some knowledge of cricket as well. For example, if I were to tell Mr. Bishan Singh Bedi here that one of the accusations leveled by the chairman of that committee was that while taking the field, Asif started to make mark his run up, and so did the other fellow Amir. And I told them, look, when you have fast bowlers of the type of, say, Hall and Griffith, and you Tyson and Statham and Lilly and Thompson, the bowlers do not ask the captain from where they're going to bowl. All they agree upon mutually is about, you see, who's going to bowl into the wind and against the wind. Now the question is, all I have said is, and I think I have, I've created some sort of a controversy. No, all I've said is that the evidence available with the prosecution. I mean, of course, please, I view it differently. All I have said today is that, look, in my opinion, the evidence available with the prosecution service in London was insufficient to make out a conviction, and then that is the only reason why they have brought in somebody who for one full year was denying that he had anything to do with it, and he has come out with a so-called exculpatory confession. It is not an inculpation.
So may I say this, Mr. Gul? I deeply appreciate your coming on the show tonight. I'm not putting, you're certainly not the person answerable, but you have some knowledge of the facts of the case. And I must clarify, the only reason I'm asking this tonight, because people will ask, 1998, Ataur Rahman also made certain claims which Sanjay Jha referred to, Sarfaraz Nawaz referred to.
Yes, the question is,
so we need to look back in history.
There are surrounding circumstances. Hello.
The truth
there are surrounding circumstances. Nobody talks about the fluctuations of matches in the IPL. Please listen to me.
Okay.
Please listen to me. Okay. Nobody talks about the fluctuations of fortunes in the Indian League. I mean, you know how teams lose and how they win. Nobody talks about them because the Indian Cricket Board is a very powerful cricket board. It dominates the ICC. You see, there are so many things to be said, and you see, I'm not going to cry about this.
You see, we are now subcontinent, but the fact is that Pakistan has become the hotbed of corruption. There's no sense in pointing fingers at each other. That's not the purpose at all.
There are many
we are concerned about the sanctity of the game, and that's the whole concern at the moment.
I'm quite right, but you are stretching it far afield.
Let me get in Bishan Bedi. I think there is nobody tonight. There is nobody tonight who is as knowledgeable and experienced about cricket as Bishan Singh Bedi, and Bishan Singh Bedi knows this particular case, and the bowling patterns, the no ball. My question is, Mr. Bishan Singh Bedi, you heard Mr. Gul say from Lahore today, the surrounding circumstances in this case are not credible enough proof. Now, can you please tell us from your experience and your own commonsensical wisdom, will you feel that's right? Or do you feel that's more than meets the eye?
Well, Anab, I think I'd like to compliment Mr. Aftab Gul. His knowledge of cricket is pretty good.
Absolutely.
He's taking names like Hall and Griffith and Freddie Truman and Statham. Well, he sounds pretty legitimate. But when he says British sense of justice is not quite up to the mark, on one hand, on the other hand, he says, well, if these guys appeal in the court, they might get the proper sense of justice in the due course. Now, these are two very, very differing kind of statements. But having said that, I think Pakistan cricket, they will have to bear it out that they've allowed these youngsters to get away, with murder. And they're not going to get away with it anymore for the simple reason that ICC is not involved with delivering this justice. This justice is being delivered by a very neutral court.
That's true.
Where the law of the land is still prevailing. If it is not prevailing in the subcontinent, it's just too bad. But you can't take it away from the fact that yes, if at all the law prevails anywhere, it has to be in the British Isles. And I really admire that this sort of decision has taken place. And in all fairness, I think these guys who've done this stupid thing, they deserve a kick in the bottom, really.
I think that's plain speaking enough.
Can I make a point?
Yes, Boria, yes.
Mr. Gul, with due respect to you, your most well-respected cricket administrator from Pakistan, Ehsan Mani, today said on this channel that he is delighted that the cheats are finally being punished. If it was in his powers, he would have put them into jail and thrown the keys away. Now, he's the most respected cricket administrator from your country, who I'm pretty sure will have the interests of Pakistan cricket at heart. I really think the guilty in this case are being punished, and we should be happy about that, because I don't see any reason to contest Ehsan Mani.
Can I respond to this?
Yeah, sure, please.
Can I please respond? Look, I will be. I'm sorry. I must confess, not a confession in the nature of the confession which Amir made. I must confess that most of the people gathered here today, including a person I've admired all my life, Bishan Singh Bedi, we are not on the same page. As for Ehsan Mani, is a friend of mine, but you must have heard of Harriet Beecher Stowe, and you must have heard of Uncle Tom's Cabin. So I don't want to expand on this any further. Please carry on.
I take your point. I take your point, Mr.
There
Gul.
are so many uncles.
And
I
think we have a right. Everyone's got a complete right to disagree, and so do you. And let me tell you, just because you are one and there are other four panelists who have different views doesn't mean you're right or we are wrong.
I do not detect any condescension in your remarks, so I say thank you very much.
No, I
don't want to be patronized, you see. I
agree with you. Thank you.
You're saying that I have a right to know.
I appreciate.
I do so many other things, you see. I do so many other things. I am not an Indian. So I live in this country. There are so many things I indulge in. I have a political background. I have a political history. I have a history of fighting against dictatorships in this country. I have done it the hard way. So all I am saying is, I will not respond to anything which I think is beyond the scope of this debate or discussion today.
I take your right. I take your complete right to have that point of view. My last question is to Kishore Bhimani. Sorry for keeping you out. Mr. Bhimani, long-term lessons that we need to draw here.
Long-term lessons we need to draw here is, first of all, the people who are guilty, you put them out of cricket. I do not believe the law should come into this at all. For the simple reason, they made the mistake of doing it in England.
Yeah.
What was the background? Background was a discredited newspaper like News of the World getting hold of a discredited human being like Majid Mazhar and getting these guys, these poor kids, for what they are worth. I know it's a minority opinion. You give them, you say, even the Christians say, lead us not into temptation. You lead them into temptation, they give into this temptation, and all they have done is bowled 3 no balls. They have not fixed the match. They have not fixed the result. They have not influenced the course of the series.
But that's spot fixing.
Why blame Pakistan? Did people blame India when 5 of our top cricketers were involved? When one of them took Hansi Krani.
Mr. Bhimani, with due respect, I will differ with you on that. I think the biggest mistake that we can ever make is to assume that spot fixing is something pretty much frivolous in nature. I don't think that's fair, as spot fixing is as serious a matter of offense as match fixing.
Mr. Bhimani also getting a response from Bishan Bedi. Go on, Mr. Bedi. Yes.
Now, Kishore, I wouldn't agree with you entirely at all, honestly. Yeah. Spot fixing is fixing. Yeah. So take it. Please take it. Now don't try to defend the wrongdoer. Yeah. No.
I'm not defending anyone. All I'm saying is let's put it in perspective. There are people like Cronier, people like Azharuddin.
No, what
who tried
perspective are we talking about?
clinch entire matches.
For
There was
spot
no
fixing-
question of
hang on,
laws
Kishore,
came up,
for
no
spot
question
fixing,
of
they're
jail
getting-
sentences came up.
No, for spot fixing they're getting massively paid. Then, are they gonna get away? This is corruption of the highest sort.
There
Please.
is a question of anybody getting away. Throw them out of cricket.
Let's not be
Kick
in
them out.
a minority
Nobody has gone
anymore.
to jail for spot fixing.
I have got strong views tonight. Strong views have emerged on this panel tonight. Gentlemen, this story is not over till the spring cleaning happens. Who does the spring cleaning? Whether the spring cleaning should be limited to Pakistan is another question altogether. For a fantastic debate, Sanjay Jha, Aftab Gul, Boria Majumdar, Bishan Singh Bedi and Kishore Bhimani, of course, thank you very much.